I've heard for years, months, days, weeks, every modicum of time that P. Diddy's case is over and shut, that he is a serial pedophile, that he is a serial criminal, and he went to trial and he was found not guilty of so many things the internet actually went after him for. And so it left me into a conundrum. Did I fall victim to believing another person who did nothing wrong was actually a vile person? Or is this an example of someone with wealth and fame beyond our wildest imaginations using their power to turn a jury? In my mind, the case was over and shut, but it is, he didn't do nothing wrong. Yeah, absolutely. He had 3 acquittals on more serious charges, 2 convictions on the less charges. Yeah, absolutely. But this whole situation is very odd. And let's get into Charlie's thoughts on this, and then I'll give mine. P. Diddy looks literally evil in his face, and he's double man. Yeah, I swear to God, we caught this guy on cameras beating his girlfriend too. Am I insane?
Infuriating and sad day. I guess all the baby oil paid off for P. Diddy because he was too slippery for the justice system.
Good one.
I cannot believe it. They have now reached a verdict on all the charges, and he has been acquitted of the most serious ones. The Lord of Lube wiggles his way out of it somehow, despite overwhelming evidence to support the allegations against P. Diddy about the decades worth of evil, criminal activities and actions he has done, terrorizing the music industry and so many individuals. It seems
like so many first eyewitnesses weighing in on, yes, this guy did this to me when I was 10. This guy did this to me when I was 12, including Justin Bieber. So something just doesn't sit right with me here.
Like, the Dawn of Dildos is about to get away with a slap on the wrist. And maybe not even that much. He's been found guilty on 2 of the lesser charges, which could carry...
Which I believe was like, I believe the 2 lesser charges he was found guilty on was like transportation to prostitution. 2 charges of it. But all the serious charges were acquitted, I believe.
A maximum of 20 years in prison. But I've completely lost faith in the system here. I have to imagine this is all just now horseradish and barnacles. I think he will probably just get away with like 6 months probation or some shit.
5 counts. We have a mixed verdict here. Again, count 1 as it relates to racketeering, not guilty. Count 2 as it relates to sex trafficking, not guilty. Count 3, guilty. Count 4, not guilty. Count 5, guilty.
Those 2 counts he was found guilty on, that was like Weenie Hut Jr. level charges compared to the rest, and it's something the defense, I imagine, was extremely pleased to have been found guilty on versus the rest. They were so happy, in fact, that reportedly P. Diddy even stood up and started clapping. Literally like a Tumblr fanfic. He stood up, started clapping, and then like his friends and family erupted into applause. Now the judge is considering what bail should be, and we move on to the next stage, which will be...
I think the very scary thing about all this is that the truth really doesn't matter in the court system. Many criminals are found innocent, and many victims are found guilty. And it's very scary because in 2025, and it should be this way, and it's unfortunate because it sounds awful. It doesn't matter what's the truth. It only matters what you can prove. And it's a dangerous precedent, but it's an important one to have because when you just go off someone's word, that's a very slippery slope. But it obviously has its pros and cons. But the one thing's for sure, when you have generational wealth, I'm not talking millionaire. A millionaire in today's society, fucking nothing. When you're a multi-millionaire, 50 mil, 100 mil, 1 bill, and dude, let's just look up P. Diddy's net worth here real quick. Yeah, when you have a net worth of 400 million, sometimes 800 million, nearing a billionaire, you have powers to do things that the normal folk don't have. And yeah, I heard there's a lot of dark things that happen on the trial, but I want to continue here.
The sentencing for these 2 charges, which carry a maximum of 10 years each, he's not going to be seeing the maximum. He probably won't even be seeing the minimum. They might just let him walk away with being forced to play League of Legends solo queue for like 2 months or something, and that'll be his punishment. It is such a fucking joke what just happened here. I actually still can't believe it. It is sickening. So I truly wouldn't be surprised if he just fully walks free from this, and I guess we can expect the grand reopening of Puffy Flavor Camp. Everyone out there, sleep in fear. Make sure you're sleeping on your back, because if you sleep on your stomach, P. Diddy might just break into your house in the middle of the night and shove a dildo up your ass. It is still just so fucking unbelievable to me. I thought this was dead to rights. Not only because of the overwhelming evidence, but also his team wasn't exactly a cohesive unit. Like, not that long ago, one of his big lawyers quit, saying he could no longer, under any circumstances, represent him, serve as a member of his council. And somehow, they were still able to squeak a win out from between P. Diddy's greased butt cheeks here. I don't know, did they promise, like, freak-off invitations to the jury? I have no clue. I don't get it. I really, truly do not understand how this just happened.
It's a mixed verdict, but it is a stunning victory for the defense. The Mann Act, these charges, these were the easiest for prosecutors.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Was that not P. Diddy that we had on camera doing this shit? We had his ass on camera.
Video that was captured inside of a Los Angeles hotel in 2016 allegedly shows Combs assaulting
we got this motherfucker on camera
in a hallway.
We're not going off words or nothing, man. Like, we got motherfuckers doing this shit in 4K.
The video appears to show Combs chasing her down the
hall. How did we fuck this up?
And then repeatedly kicking her. So far, there's been no...
Like, this ain't the normal trial where it's like, you know, some woman cried wolf and then, you know, people aren't believing her. It's like we have fucking video proof of him doing this horrific ass shit. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. That clip wasn't related to the trial at all. Yeah, no, but what I'm just saying is like, there was so much evidence of him doing that other shit. That's why I'm so confused how this shit didn't pass.
To prove the lowest hanging fruit merely required showing that state lines were crossed for the purpose to engage in prostitution. We
9 years ago when she took money for it, yeah, that makes sense.
Did not have that element, Laura, of force, fraud, or coercion. And this carries the lightest sentence of these charges. It is a maximum of 10 years. And keep in mind, when you're talking about maximums,
no, what I'm saying is that was an example of so much of the other shit we haven't caught on camera before.
They're for the most exceptional and severe cases. So now you're talking about a sentence
the problem is they charged with different crimes that they couldn't prove, so they hit him with stuff they could prove.
Yeah,
almost conspiracy levels and charged him incorrectly so he could beat it.
For those charges, really? I would be surprised if he even saw the minimum. My guess would be, and of course I haven't passed the bar, so this is just fucking Neanderthal spitballing. My guess would be they'll weigh the time served behind bars throughout this case as like you've learned your lesson, and wiggle their finger. Don't do it again, and give them some really light punishment. Very, very light sentencing.
Check it out. It's on topic. What's the shadow of Ezra? Diddy supporters turned the courthouse steps into full-blown spectacle, rubbing on baby oil and partying hard after the verdict was announced. The energy was wild, raw, and completely unapologetic. These people are sick.
What the fuck, yo? You're a fucking mess! What the Y'all are fucking wildin'!
God damn, bro, he is oiled up, man.
Look.
Am I crazy, or like has Kai Cenat stream just made me think that party was like tame as fuck? Am I correct? Like, I feel like a Kai Cenat stream is crazier than that shit.
And then when he's out on bail or full-blown walks free, I imagine baby oil will go extinct. And I predict that there will be a freak-off the likes of which the cosmos has never seen. It'll be filled with so much degeneracy that it will give birth to Slanesh in the war in real life. It's going to be a Warhammer 40K event.
Yep.
It's just so fucking despicable, man. It really is.
The fact that these sex trafficking charges, specifically with respect to Cassie Ventura, means that the jury was convinced by the defense, at least with respect to reasonable doubt, that the commercial sex, i.e. the freak-offs, were not connected to some of this violence, that there was not that force, fraud, or coercion element. That is, by far, from a penalty perspective, the most serious. It carried a 15-year minimum.
Jesus.
So that is a huge distinction.
Really feels like if you've got enough money, somehow a lot of those very serious, very well-documented things just never really seem to stick in court for some reason. It's so weird how that works. It's so odd how we see that happen so many times. I don't know. Something seems a bit fishy there. From everything I've seen from a couple of lawyers discussing it, the big thing here seems that the RICO charges weren't conveyed well enough for the jury to understand, and that it could have been, like, difficult in the first place as a potential overcharging on P. Diddy, so that was like an uphill battle. Obviously, I don't understand all the nuance to how that shit works in court, like how it all shakes down the fucking Rube Goldberg machine that is arguing RICO charges. I'm not Saul Goodman. But outside of that, the lawyers also expressed how stunned they were that he was found not guilty on the sex trafficking by force and coercion. It seems like, at least from the lawyers that I've read and watched from, they were also very surprised that somehow the jury wasn't convinced on those. That one really did seem like a pretty big slam dunk in the case. Like, at least most sane human beings would think so, but somehow it didn't stick. Somehow it didn't shake out that way. To be found not guilty on those is baffling. Actually,
it really does seem like money can get you like out of anything. That is absolutely wild. This reminds me of the old OJ case, man. Yeah, people getting essayed at the Diddy parties. That's the thing. It's not consensual. It's the baby oil, bro. Yeah, I know. He uses a slip and slide to escape accountability. Yeah, hit denims with PP. Diddy's lawyers will need him. Joyer was retarded or paid off. Yeah, this is wild.
Baffling. And I went to a live stream where some lawyers were talking, and reading the chat, it will make you lose all possible faith that there's real people online. There are so many people that are elated, celebrating that P. Diddy is free, and saying he should go as far as suing the government for the charges they brought against him. Unironically, I saw someone donate saying, does P. Diddy have a case against the government to sue them for this? Holy shit. What? I don't know how so many people have been poisoned by stupidity. Like there must be some kind of hole in the ozone layer that's letting pure concentrated stupid come through. And it is just
Yeah, it's the same one that's turning the frogs gay, Charlie. And turning the kids trans.
Destroying neurons at an alarming rate. Such an unfortunate outcome. There's a lot of people that are now going to need to be looking over their shoulder here with this P. Diddy verdict. One of them being a bodyguard who said if P. Diddy walks, he's going to need to go into hiding. I think that's not an exaggeration. He most likely will, in order to stay alive. This is a dangerous man with an extremely well-recorded history of horrible shit he has done, who is now getting let off very easily here. Now, if you're a sane, sensible person, you're probably pretty angered by the outcome, but we don't live in a world where everyone's sane and sensible. There is a not small group of people, the Free Diddy drones, that are very...
This just makes me feel so confused. Because everything that I've seen, everything that I've looked into, everything seems so over and shut. Obviously, I have this new mindset where I try to approach everything with skepticism, but I can't even fathom a world where Diddy was actually innocent of these charges. The worst thing is my mind's wondering, what is it that I could have missed about all this? I rarely ever feel this confused by something. People have lost their minds.
Very, very pleased. They're very excited that P. Diddy is going to be most likely getting let off super, super easily. They are elated right now, these fucking weirdos. They're acting like they're part of the crew, part of the ship, like they'll get the invite to the...
Like, the people vouching for the horrific deeds of P. Diddy weren't like no-name women, no-name dudes with nothing to lose. Because, like, when somebody has nothing to lose by lying and everything to gain by lying, I take everything they say with a grain of salt, but, like, these were, like, A-tier celebrities. You know what I mean? Like, A-tier celebrities weighing in on the horrific acts that Diddy did to them when they were young or getting started in the industry. And that's why it just truly boggles the mind on what is actually going on here. And I don't mean to, like, full conspiracy out, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like being, like, a schizo poster, but, like, something's really fishy, guys. 50 Cent, Kid Cudi, Justin Bieber. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, big fucking names. He has a lot of dirt on them, 100%. It's hard to know the whole truth of the situation. And the reality is, I don't think we'll ever know the whole truth of this whole situation.
The next freak off. And they are so happy. Fucking weirdos out there. It's crazy how anyone can view this as anything other than a disaster, a fucking travesty, where the justice system just failed so many people. Yeah, I'll stop ranting and raving about it.
I think I'm gonna be doing a lot of research on this. I genuinely just don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. Hold on.
Or from inside the courtroom as we speak.
Whoever his lawyer is, I feel like that guy can quadruple his rate and still have that shit be on sale.
Yeah.
Like, that dude is like, that's some fucking, what's that dude?
That's some fucking Jedi mind trick shit, bro. He, like, has the power of the Force.
That guy's name, oh my god. That's, yeah, no, that's not even Saul Goodman. That's like fucking Ace, this is some Ace Attorney shit.
Oh, yeah, Ace Attorney, yeah. I was going to say Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Objection! I think this is going to be, like, in documentaries later, man. I really do.
Mass surveillance bullshit until you don't even have any privacy. That's not what's going to happen. Like, you're so naive to think that, like, you really think that these massively powerful Machiavellian psychopath murderer rapists are just going to say, oh no, they're killing us. Let's just stop what we're doing. And do you think his career is over after this in court? No, I don't think so. I
think he's going to be fine. I mean, didn't Chris Brown beat the fuck out of Rihanna and he's still blasting music?
I really don't. I think that especially now that he basically got, you know, he got away with it in a lot of cases, right? I'll be right back. I can use the bathroom. So, no, I don't think his career is over at all.
And the reason why I hate this shit is because it was so obvious and there was so many signs. There was so much evidence against this guy. And this is once again going to prevent real victims from being believed, right? It's like the internet does everything in its power to make everything so fucking unbelievable. It's just so bad. This presents such a bad mindset for so many people, bro.
Diddy drops to his knees and bends over after hearing the verdict. Oh my God. Diddy supporters showering each other with baby oil outside the courthouse. Oh my God. Let me make sure this is this problematic? No.
Fuck. This is gonna cause another horseshoe correction where people go back to believe all victims when someone's so obviously guilty gets off. Yeah, I know. That's the problem, right? I know. Yep, no, he beat the fuck out of his girlfriends. Yeah, we've seen that on camera. That's not what he went to trial for this time. But take it, we have to believe victims because Pokemon said so. Yeah, I know, man. I think people who lie about being SH have criminal charges against them, bro. No, I absolutely agree. Anybody who falsely accuses someone should get 2 years in jail on a minimum. Like minimum. It makes you question why even bother have laws put in place to protect people if someone like Diddy can get off easily simply doing money. So what's going to happen with Diddy? I guess we're going to have to see, man. If based on what I'm seeing, almost everything that he's getting found guilty on is going to be very easily fixed with just more money, right? I think at max he might get 6 months in jail, but to be honest, he'll probably get probation. Yeah, he's going to have surveillance 24/7. He is. I think people are going to try to kill him. To be honest, this is a very, very, very uncomfortable situation, and even I don't know what to think. I'm just incredibly uncomfortable right now, and I need to look into this shit more. And I'm probably gonna make a follow-up video and present everything that there was against this guy. Yeah, this is just a very uncomfortable day for the world.